Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the TheChatDown podcast. I'm not even going to gas us up this morning. I'm this morning. I'm still on yesterday, mate. I'm kind of just going to get straight into this one because I'm kind of really hyped about this.
Yeah.
So today we have a hip-hop and grime artist. He's a former member of the Nasty Crew. He's appeared on popular platforms such as Link Up TV, Kiss 100, Radio 1, and many more. Making his return to the music scene, it's the real McCoy, Roy. It's Kasimo.
Hey. Thank you.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, man.
Good. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, definitely, man. First off, before we start, I just want to say congratulations on the collab you've just done with Keon and Hutchie on the Miss Jackson track.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. I've been playing it like too much. I shouldn't be playing it as much as I was, but I was.
At work and everywhere, mate.
I have played it because I've been listening. We had to listen to it the whole day doing the music video, so it's kind of like, oh. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to Lost Boys and Jinka as well, man, making the kind of collab happen. If it wasn't for them, then we probably never would have got in touch. So yeah, man, shout out to them as well.
Yeah, man. Well, obviously, I think I always struggle on where to start with these things, but I've been given a little bit of information about yourself. I mean, first off, you've been around for quite a bit, quite a long time.
Yeah. I
was looking through some of your old videos on YouTube, and I think one of the oldest ones I found were like 12 years old.
Wow.
I was like in the, like in grime they have classes. I was in the same class as like Criminal and Chipmunk and Little Nasty, but I never took it as serious as them lot, and I was just happy to kind of get a little bit of a name in my own hometown. And then, I was happy with that. I wasn't hungry. As soon as I kind of got the features with Nasty Crew, for me when I was younger, it was kind of like achievement.
Yeah. And
I had no real hunger to strive and do anything more. So the pennies finally dropped about 120 years later. But yeah, lockdown really gave me a chance to kind of sit back and say, look, what do you want to do? Do you want to take this seriously? And then obviously made the first song, Still on Smoke, and I was blown away with the reaction. And from there I was like, this is what I need to be doing. So I write every week, record every week. Yeah, finally got
It sounds like lockdown was a really good time for you as doing some things with your time and building yourself up. 100%. Is that right?
100%. Yeah, I mean, I was in London for lockdown, and my kids were in Colchester and in Romford. But obviously, it was a time where you couldn't really see them. So I just spent the whole time writing, putting focus on music. Obviously, it was hard to travel. So I was staying in studio, 2 weeks at a time, just recording every day, and mastering the craft. You have to remember, I mean, I've been around for a long time, but I probably recorded maybe 30, 40 tracks from 2005 to 2020. And then in 2020, I recorded 70.
Wow.
So I wasn't even a master in the studio yet. Like, I mean, if you'd have seen me when I first joined with Lost Boys and Jinka, I was having to record songs like 4 or 5 times just to get them to sound how I wanted them to sound.
Yeah.
But now I can go in and I'm comfortable and I'm like, hey, I know it's got to sound like that. And it might take me a couple of takes, but I'm a lot more comfortable and a lot more studio ready.
Well, I'm getting from that, are you a perfectionist then in what you do?
Yeah. You know what it is? In this day and age, studio time can be a lot. It can cost a lot of money. So when you're paying £5 an hour or a session, you're like, oh, you're trying to get it right. You're trying to rush it because you want to get your money's worth. But where I've had the freedom to just be like, you know what? And I am as well. I'll be like, you know what? I don't like the way I said that one word. Can I do that again? I have the freedom and the luxury of doing it, where a lot of people might struggle who are perfectionists like me, and they might be like, oh, well, you know, it's £25 an hour. Can't really afford to be saying that verse again. Do you know what I mean? We just have to leave it where it is. And that's why I used to struggle with my music career before. I didn't really like much of the music I would make because it didn't sound like how I wanted it to sound in my head. Now I get the freedom to perfect it. And by the time you guys hear it, you're hearing what the vision I originally had for it, if that makes sense. So
Makes sense.
yeah, so that is massive for me. That is absolutely massive for me. So now I kind of get the freedom to do it. It's yeah, I'm a lot happier with the music and a lot more comfortable with it being released.
Yeah, I think to me, like a lot of things I've listened to yours that I really enjoy is your stuff like your Lucasade Part 1, 2, and 3. And I didn't realise there was a Part 4 until I actually started speaking to you. But that's kind of why I'm a bit gassed up about this, because that's the type of stuff I love. I like freestyling. I think I don't know, it's just expressing yourself without thinking about it.
Yeah.
But although we're here to talk about the music and stuff, one of the things we like to do is obviously get to know you as a person. You know, deep down behind all this Instagram and all this music, you are still a person just like everyone else.
Of course, yeah.
So on my notes, I've got that you were born in Hackney.
Yeah.
And you grew up in Essex.
Yeah, so I was born in Hackney. I lived there till I was about 5 or 6. Then I moved to Essex. That's where my mum's from.
Yeah.
I lived here for about a year, then went back to Hackney for about a year, and then I came back, and I've kind of lived there ever since. I've had a few stints where I may have stayed, like lockdown, stayed with my parents in London because they moved back in 2018. And I've had different stints where I've stayed there for a little while. I just much prefer it in Essex, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I much prefer it. But a lot of my family still live in London. Dad still lives in London. Mum, stepdad's moved back. So a lot of cousins, nieces, nephews, aunties, they all still live there. But I prefer Essex, where my children are. I don't think I'll ever leave. I could take London in little period, like, you know, couple of days, then I'll go back home.
Yeah, I suppose it is a bit busy over there. See, I'm from Leeds, originally, and Fraser's from Wakefield. So
Sunny Wakefield. Yeah.
It's busy. Yeah. It's busy, but it's not as mad as I've seen it down there. I mean,
yeah.
I suppose that has its plus sides as well as its downsides, but
of course.
Which brings me on to another question, actually, that you've just kind of made me think of in my head. And the reason I ask this is one of the things I've always thought about in my head is because I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 kids myself. And I struggle to figure out between doing my content and work and family life. How do you keep it all like together and that? Because it's just something I've struggled with.
If see before I took music seriously, there was a lot of content on there. It was me and my kids, but obviously I wanted to take it seriously. I want my page to be more music focused. So I put it all in the archives. But a lot of time, my kids will be there helping me. Like the amount of times my kids, because my kids are 13, 12, and 4.
Yeah.
Girl thinks she's a princess. She's in her own little world. Loves life. Tells me that I'm famous, but she's actually talented. Those are exact words. So I was like, oh, thank you very much. And my 2 boys, they help me create content. They're very creative. So there'll be a lot of times you'll be seeing me maybe doing a freestyle or something on my Instagram. They're the ones recording. Or I get them involved in my little funny skits that I do. So, I was actually going to come in, but no one's ever actually had a proper interview with me. I was going to come in a character today, and I thought, you know what, now let's have a proper sit down and do like a real interview. Let's do no characters and just do me, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't actually know. A lot of people think my name's Kasimo, and it's not.
So what is your real name then? ... I thought I had you there, mate. I thought I had you.
My name's Leroy. No, it's Leroy. So I don't look like a Leroy, but it's Leroy.
So where does the real McCoy Roy come from?
I think someone just said it one day, years and years ago. Because obviously Leroy, then a few of my friends like calling me Roy. Most people call me Cass or Kasimo. And drunk at a party and someone just said it and it stuck with me. And I was like, I like that. So,
Mate, I'm not going to lie. I thought that was your real name.
no.
I actually thought that's your real name. I thought that was a way of you putting your real name into it, but without letting people know.
Yeah, no, Leroy, just the Roy bit.
Yeah, and then I watched your skits. So I watched the one I watched last with where you pretended to be a delivery driver. You were delivering parcels.
Oh, no, you know, I was pretending, but I was actually working for Amazon at the time. So what I did was I'll be bored of something. And then I went home and said to my son, my older son lives with me. And I was like, I want to do this. And he was like, yeah, it'll be funny. And that's what I do. Like literally there's so much that I've got in my head that I want to do, but so I don't get the time to do. But yeah, like I think that was a genuine, probably edited a little bit, but I tried to deliver a parcel. And it was a +18, like an over 18s parcel. So you had to have a signature and show ID. And the guy thought that I was doing it because he was pornographic material. And I was like, that could be a knife, a razor blade. he was very adamant that like it was that it was pornographic material, or I thought it was pornographic material. So, so I just kind of the car. I went home and recorded it that night. And got my son involved.
That's
Do you
mad.
think your children will ever follow your steps into music?
No, I used to do art, and my younger son is he's 12 years old, he's a very good artist. Like, I know all parents say he's very good, but I'm like, wow. Like 3 years ago, he was drawing stick figures, and I'm not the greatest parent in the fact that if my kids do something rubbish, I'm going to tell them it's rubbish. I'm not.
Oh, yours Scott are the same, because he's like very blunt with his opinions. He doesn't hold back when he's got something to say.
100%. I think it's the best way. So I just kept telling him, nah, it's not good. And then one day I remember that he drew a picture of Dragon Ball Z Vegeta, and I was blown away. And I had to make sure he didn't trace it. And I put it up against the laptop, and I was like, oh, wow, he didn't trace it. So I was like, and ever since then, he's amazing. My older son, he just likes spending my money. And that's his hobby.
I know that feeling.
One of my sons started playing saxophone at the age of 10, 11. And he's like a grade 8 saxophone player now.
Yeah.
And a part-time teacher.
Yeah.
And when he plays, it's just absolutely magical. It's just like so proud of him. It's amazing.
And imagine 11 years old.
He's 22 now. So he's been playing 10 years.
My stepdad plays saxophone. So as soon as you said that, I was like, because I've tried at many different ages and I can't even get the thing to make a sound. So it's a talent in itself that at 11 years old that he was able to do that 100%.
He's upstairs when he gets home, and it's 2 hours practice every day. He's just bang into it. But if your desires to do something, you're going to make your way to get to do it.
You know what? If he's a saxophone player, man, we should do something different one day and invite him to the studio and create something magical.
Oh, I think he'd love that.
I make a lot of different music, but a lot of people try to push me into a lot of my friends, they push me into the grime or hip hop category, but then I'll share my music with a lot of females, the slow kind of stuff. I like making slow songs, emotional songs, and they're like, why aren't you releasing this stuff? So the new mixtape's gonna have a few surprises. You're gonna be like, oh wow, like he went in that direction. I'm like, yeah, man. But it's just because I'm known for doing a certain style. It's hard because if you release that, the fear of, oh my god, people are like, why is he doing that for? So but I'm gonna throw a few little spanners in the work on my mixtape. But I'd love to work with a saxophonist. Honestly, my stepdad's a bit too old to play now. But I'd 100%.
Yeah, I'll pass your details on to you.
Definitely do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's actually really nice, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you can bring that back into a conversation where someone's just done something that nice for someone. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, like, so you grew up in Hackney, you moved to Essex. Obviously, there was a time before music.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what made you get into it?
There wasn't a time before music. One of my first memories is my 4th birthday party because my dad is he's a sound man, so my dad's a Rasta. Obviously, I'm mixed race. Don't look like I could use 1,000 sunbeds at the minute. He plays like a lot of roots, a lot of like a lot of back then it was old school jungle and then roots and reggae and ragga and whatnot. And
Yeah.
one of the first memories is me grabbing the microphone on my 4th birthday, and I was just there in front of the whole crowd, and that's like one of my first memories. But then before that, I think a year earlier when I was free, I jumped on stage at a big festival in London. This white looking kid with this curly afro singing ding-a-ling-a-ling, school bell for ring, knife and fork, a fight for dumpling. God, really? My mum was like, yeah, you won 1st place in the competition. So there wasn't, it's funny you said it, there wasn't ever a time before music. Like, that's the earliest memories I've got. My dad spitting lyrics, my uncle Malcolm spitting lyrics, my stepdad playing saxophone and singing, my cousins, like every family party we had, it was kind of like a show and tell. Like, what have you done in the past 6 months since I seen you new tracks? And I was just amazed by it. And all my cousins, they still sing now, beautiful voices. My stepdad still has a little play around every now and then on the guitar or the saxophone. And my dad still does his music with his big speakers, and his neighbors trying to get him evicted. So to answer your question, there's never been a time before music before me. It's really mad. I can't think of one.
Wow. The reason I asked that.
I'm sorry if I've stumped you.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I asked that is because I'm 25. I'm 25 now.
Yeah.
And I've only just realised what I actually want to do.
Yeah.
In terms of making different types of entertainment for people who enjoy. I'm looking at doing some music myself during this year and at end of year. I don't know if you saw it on my Instagram, but I'll just say it again for anyone that's listening. If this podcast gets 100 likes or I get to 100 followers by the end of the week, then I'm going to try do a freestyle. I used to dabble with it a little bit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it was just the generic drugs, drink, and girls conversations and stuff, and them types of bars.
As you do. I mean, send it to me, man. I'll post it for you 100%.
Definitely. Well, they've got to get me there first, but yeah.
Good. You know, it was hard enough trying to get. It was fun. Everyone that was messaging me for the song, the pre-orders and stuff, were people that I hadn't really spoke to much in my life.
Yeah.
All my best friends, I had to remind. I was like, listen, I'll pay you the 79p if you go download it now. They were like, Cass, I'm really sorry, we just totally forgot. I'm like, bro, come on. But all the support came mostly from people that I didn't actually really speak to. And I was really like, oh, well, thank you. They were like, oh, we've supported you, mate. Thank you. I got Still on Smoke and Swerve and this. And I was just very, very grateful. I was like, wow, they didn't have to do that. You don't even know me. I've never met you before. But I was very, very thankful. So yeah, so I'll try my best. Send it over to me. Obviously, I'll be promoting this episode as well. But send me the freestyle anyway. So
yeah, man, definitely will. I mean, that you've just mentioned Swerve, which is quite a funny story actually. So I've got my girlfriend has actually had your song in her playlist for about a year.
Oh really?
Never thought to mention it to me though. Never once. You know, she sees all stuff on Instagram, she sees it all on Facebook, all promotion and that. Not once. I found out 2 days ago that she actually has your songs in a playlist, and I'm like,
oh really?
but yeah. But she don't like grime, which is what surprised me.
Yeah.
And I think she'll be, because I'll be honest with you, mate. I think it's because you're a good-looking geezer. That's why. That's why she's got your songs, bro. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, right. But
good.
I think, like, for people like her that they know who you are because obviously they've got your songs in the playlist, but they're not into grime so much. The fact that you just said that you're going to be doing a little bit of different things than that, I think that levels are
I'm
going to
just
go.
so looking forward to listening to stuff that's different. I think it's going to be amazing.
Did you send him the one that I sent you with Jinka? Because that was very out of my comfort zone, wasn't it? Ryder, remember?
Yeah. So there is going to be at the end of this episode, there's going to be an exclusive song called Rider that Kasimo's provided us with. So make sure you stay till the end because that song will be played to play us out.
Yeah.
You know, it's an exclusive. We're the only ones that have got it. that are out and about. And yeah, I've heard it and it sounds sick.
To be fair, apart from maybe like one or two friends, my kids keep bugging me for it, but because I wasn't too sure if it was going to make the mixtape, I wasn't going to send it to them because they can be a bit sly and they might send it to a friend who sends it to a friend. I was like, no, I'm not giving it to you. But yes, so you're the only one that's got it. I do apologize. We didn't have time to really mix or master it down. It was kind of just a preset on there. So I wish I could have done that for you. But obviously you got That Smoke as well. Another one I sent you two. Remember that? So.
Well, we're going to save that one. We're going to save that one. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, mate, being mastered and rendered, you're on a podcast that's running off Discord and my camera doesn't even look right. So I won't worry about that. But I've heard it. I've purposely not shown Fraser it, or I think Connor will have heard it because obviously I sent him it, because I want to get an actual genuine reaction out of him. Because personally, right, and I'm not just saying this because you sat there. I mean, I said it to you over message. It's a sick song, and I was like, if that is something you've sent us because you're not using it, what is going to be in this mixtape, man?
Well, the funny thing about that song, and I swear to God on my children's lives, I'm not one of these artists that vibe in studio. So you see me get chill and they vibe and they drink and do whatever. I have to take studio home with me and I have to perfect it. I can't do it when people are around. So I went to Jinka's one day and I said, I'd listened to, I think, a Gets podcast when his album just come out. And he was like, yeah, he just writes in the studio, tries to hold the bars. I can't do that. I'm never going to say that I can. I have to read it. Even if I know it off by heart, I still have to read it. It's like a comfort thing. But I wanted to do something different. And he was like, go on. He was like, what do you want to do? I said, help me though, innit? I said, I can't do the whole thing. So I said, I need a verse from you. And I said, I've got a little something in my head, but we just picked the beat. I wrote in the studio, laid it down, and that was it, and left it. And we played it the other day. He's like, is this guy on the tape or not? And I was like, I don't think he's going to make the tape. But the fact that I was able to do that was just like, I wanted to do it just once to see if I could do it. And that's how Rider came about. We didn't practice it. We just wrote it there and then, recorded it, forgot about it. So, yeah.
That's a hard song to forget about, bro. It's a good song.
I just can't wait to listen to it.
I'm just gutted I can't put it in my Spotify playlist, man. I've got to click on email every time I want to listen to it.
Might do a little tape of stuff that didn't make the because I don't want to waste any songs. I'm not in a position where these artists can write 100 songs and waste them. Every song counts for me personally. So it just didn't fit the tape, but maybe, who knows? I mean, I played it once to my kids in the car when I made it, kind of forgot about it. And they have reminded me ever since, you know, a few times, oh, what happened with that song? But they don't know the name. So I haven't told them.
I always wonder when people write songs and music, where inspiration comes from. Where does it begin for you?
It'll be a certain punchline. I think of a lot of stuff. Excuse me, but when I'm on the toilet, that's just like my time. I'm just on the toilet. I'm just chilling, and it will start with a punchline. Might not even be the first verse, but I mean, I made a freestyle the other day that's actually on the mixtape, and a girl told me a joke. And I thought it was so funny. I was like, I wonder if I could turn that into a punchline. So I'm sitting in the car, racking my brains, and I just had the 2 lines. I was like, that's sick. And that's how it started. And then I think I ended up writing 32 bars before it even gets to that point. So I just couldn't fit it in. So I kept on writing till I put it in. And you'll know it when you hear it because it's the only one that makes you go, it's fun. Think of that. I can't take the credit. It was just, she told me a joke.
I've got to ask now, mate. What's the joke?
I can't tell you.
No.
I can't tell you because it's such an effective line in the song. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay. Can't give away secrets, Fraser, bro. Come on.
I know.
Oh, dude.
You know, I love my jokes. I do love my jokes. I love a good laugh. My jokes aren't very good, but I still tell them.
I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble for this, but after the podcast, I'll send you the song. It's going to be one of the singles, but I'll send it. As long as you promise not to share. I promise. I'll send it to you, and you tell me if you can guess it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
You're on.
Yeah? Let's do it.
Sweet.
Yo, what's happening, people? Just a quick message for you. So today's episode is sponsored by The Third Eye UK. The Third Eye is a clothing brand that can offer you genuinely good-looking and stylish t-shirts and hoodies.
Big hair man enormous, got man feeling Ballon d'Orish. The GOAT, the air man's flow like yeah I know. Man ain't thinking but a chorus. Swear I'm God like the air and I won't spend time thinking but a tortoise.
Now, if you want to get yourself any of these, jump on over to www.thethirdeyeuk.co.uk and to check on product updates, jump over to the Instagram page at The Third Eye UK. And if you want 10% off your order, when you get to the checkout, use discount code CHATBOX10 for 10% off. Now let's get back to the podcast. So yeah, I mean, obviously we spoke about it past a little bit, dived in a little bit. The Nasty Crew, right? How did that come about then? Like, what? Obviously, you started making music, and I know, but how did like you get into creating music with them?
Right, so I'll tell you the story. So it was in May 2005, I believe, just before my 17th birthday. It was my friend's birthday. He was having a party in the garden, and Nasty Jack, you know, from Nasty Crew,
Yeah,
he was clashing a group called Euro Gang on dub plates. Right at the end of the dub plate, he put his number. I was like talking shit, like, you got a problem, call me. So my friend went, Cass, call him. Like, just see if it's the number. I went, nah. He was like, go and call him. So I was like, all right then. So I called him. And we just started spitting down the phone to each other. And he was like, you're sick. And he's like, bruv, you like, yeah, like you should come and do a little something with Nasty. So then 1-2 weeks later, they invited me down, and it was Risky Roads 2. Have you seen the Risky Roads footage where I actually got a hairline? And
yeah. I've seen some of it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I have seen bits and bats of it.
So they invited me down there, and I sprayed on camera. And yeah, like Marcus was like, do you want to be in the crew? Like, Younger Nasty, not even Younger Nasty, Nasty Crew. And I was like, they were rebuilding. Obviously, Ghetto, Kano had just left. DWE, Jammer, and Footsie had left a while before. And obviously, I've always had the Kano and Ghetto comparisons. So they was like, it just seemed just right. And then I sent for Ghetto on Risky Roads. You wouldn't have seen it, but instant regret. Instant regret. Because I spoke to him and he was like, bro, like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? And I was so like narrow-minded at the time. I was just thinking of anything to kind of get heard and seen. Like, that's the people I respect most. So luckily, I became good friends with Stormin, R.I.P. And a few months later, he took me to the house, met Ghetto, and he was like, bruv, you're sick. Good that you took the footage off. Because if at that point, if Ghetto would have said any lyric to me, he would have killed me. You know what I mean? I was never ready to even start a beef like that. But I was just young and stupid and just gassed at the time. And then a few weeks later, we done Run for Cover. That's like getting played at radio and at Carnival. Then we done Girls Love Nasty. I done Westwood, Sidewinder, all in that year. And then afterwards, the hunger just left. I was kind of like, I felt like I'd achieved something, which I had the MCs of the past, they've been doing that anyway. That was normal to them. But because I was starstruck in the moment of getting to perform on stage, and there was Skepta, there was Dizzy Rascal, there's JME, and then we're going on next. And it was all like, wow, I felt like I'd done something, and I hadn't. You know what I mean? I had one little lyric that everyone knew from Girls Love Nasty, and had the DVD thing, and that was about it. And I was just happy at the time to settle for that, when really that should have been like, that's entry level. Now where can we get to? But everything happens for a reason. I was too young, I was too immature, and now I feel like I'm there. So
yeah, I was just gonna say that. I mean, obviously, like the little things like sending, and like you see a lot of people that make careers off of beef.
Yeah.
Do you think that making the decision to not go down the beefing route has made you into the artist you are today?
100%. It could have worked out really, really bad for me. Like, you know what I mean? And imagine last year when not even last year, when I released, you can remember the Stars and the Rise 3?
Yeah.
So when I sent it, it only got really popular because I tagged Getz on Twitter. He retweeted it, Lily Allen retweeted it, Meridian Dan, Devlin, just because I had that apology. And I respect him so much. But if I'd have gone down the sending like the route, one, it would have ended really bad for me anyway, because I just wasn't ready. And two, people would have just thought, who the fuck is this? Like, you can't just come in the game and send for a great like him. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. But you got to momentum first. So I'm so thankful. And then a few months ago, I sent him a clip of Stars on the Rise again, and he was like, bruv, I thought it was me. I actually thought it was me because I'm doing his impersonation. And he was like, make sure you send me the new one, because there's a Lord of the Mics. So basically, I'm doing the MCs impersonations where they clash each other. So it's gonna you get to hear Gets versus Gigs, or you know what I mean, or Meridian Dan versus President T, good friends. So he was like, send it to me, man. I'll definitely repost it. I was like, thank you. So he put my son on his Instagram as well. My son was spitting the ghetto lyrics. He put him on there. He's still on there now. So I'm thankful for that kind of stuff. So if I'd have come in sending for people that I actually respect the most, it could have been really hurtful to me now, or definitely back then.
Yeah, I think the thing is with that type of stuff is it sells for a little while, and then after a bit, it's just once that beef's over, where are you gonna go?
Yeah, it's no longevity, is there?
No. So obviously now you're signed with Lost Boys Made It, with Jinka and them boys. How did that come about? So obviously you lost the drive and stuff, as you said, and then were they a big gap or were they a small gap? What's the story there?
I maybe would do something maybe once a year, but it's been about, I think the last thing I did, my kids watched me perform in 2016. We done an exclusive show in Attitude. They said like invite 30 guests, end up being like 70 guests. So it was mad. And my kids got to see me perform, and my youngest actually grabbed the mic at one point and done a little thing. And then after that, I was kind of like, whatever. I didn't have no hunger, no drive. But it's one of them things where I just think, could I have wasted this, or is it a waste if I don't really? Because I've never taken it seriously. I've never really taken it seriously. I've just done it off the cuff. Never worked on the craft like I have now. Never took the time to learn what makes a good tune, what makes a good chorus, how to record tonality. I'm learning all that stuff now, so I'm kind of learning on the cuff and really enjoying it. But never took it seriously. So 2016 was like the last show I did, and I didn't really think about much of it ever since. And then someone asked if I wanted to do a garage night around Christmas time, 2019, so a few months before the lockdown. And I was like, yeah, I'm up for that. And I started writing a couple of garage lyrics, and ended up being most of the stuff that's on Project Nostalgia, like Caramel Shanties. Didn't get to perform. The club got closed down. I think someone had a massive fight and the whole club got closed down. So I was pretty disappointed. I was like, no, that's good actually. You know, it was quite off the cuff. I didn't have a lot of time to practice. I was like, let me just see if I can make this into real songs. Started going studio. Then lockdown happened. There's no studios available. And Jinka was like, come and stay here. He saw the potential. I known him before anyway. I met him a few years back. And he was like, that this is criminal if you don't give this at least 2 years of your life, like seriously, see where it can get you. Now we have to exclude lockdown because you can't perform, you can't do anything. So lockdown, like the work on the craft, like get your shit together. And obviously I'm very good like best friends. If you know Monster Florence, I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, I hadn't heard of them. No.
So they're doing Glastonbury, they're doing songs with like Plan B and Pro Green and stuff. Like they're killing it. They're my best friends, but they've always said you're one of the sickest spitting, but you've never made that transition to artist. And since, you know, I've been making the new songs and the new tape, they're like, what happened? Like, I'm like, I don't know. The penny just dropped. And I realized if you put the hard work in, like, you know, I would write something and that would be it. Nowadays, I can write something. I might dwell on it for a week and be like, nah, if I just change that, and that, wow, the difference makes it a song. I'm just learning, if that makes sense. So I'm really, really new in the game. I feel like I'm still very, very fresh, even though I've been around for about, I don't know, was it even 15 years, something like that? But yeah.
I think the thing with music, it's everything, that there's always something new to learn. There's new techniques. There's always something out there that you can improve your skill. And if you don't improve yourself, you're just stagnant. You need to push yourself, don't you?
100%. You need to be creative and try new things, and even if people say just stick to grime or stick to hip hop, if you don't want to do that, if you want to try other stuff, then try it.
Yeah, I think going back to the bit what you were just saying about Jinka and that, and like finding the drive and stuff. There's something about that guy. Like even us, like we did that the first podcast we did coming back with Keon.
Yeah.
And after I'm not going to go into details on here. I'll talk to you about it after. But I spoke to Jinka anyway, and basically the guy, he gave us the motivation and the drive to keep going without realizing he'd done that. And like, we've now booked up all the way until the 8th of August, and we struggle to get a guest once every 3-4 episodes before.
Yeah, it was really hard.
But through Jinka getting us in touch with Keon and then yourself, obviously I've gone on Instagram a lot more. Which is kind of where I've got to say to you, thank you for being on Instagram and not Facebook as much, because we've got sponsorship deal for 5 episodes because of Instagram. We've got guests all the way up until 8th of August because of Instagram. And it's not even just people that like Jinka's provided for us. It's, I'm going on there and I'm just jumping in people's lives and just like, yo, jump on podcast, come on. And then some people are like, nah, who you? And then other people, like the ones we've got, are just all up for it.
The first day I went into studio, I thought I was going there and I thought I was paying. I was like, because I know him anyway, but I'm paid for his time. He already had the idea. He'd already worked everything he wanted to do, and he sat me down and he was like, what do you want to do with this? What are you going to do? And I was like, you know what I'm writing lately, I think I want to give it another run. He goes, you got any plans, anything? I didn't know anything. He done my PPL, my PRS, my district, sorted out everything for me. He's like, I'm gonna do this and this. Don't pay me for your time. Let's build together. Let's do this. Like all these ideas. What are you doing? What have you done this week? Nothing, Jinka. I've been working. I'm tired. Oh, there's people out there that's got a 9-to-5 job and they're still writing three tracks a week or 1 track a week. So he's constantly on me, and he's a good person to have. He's a very, very good person to have around. 100%. He'll keep you motivated and he'll keep on you. So if you're part of it, you have to work. If you're not working, then see you later. Doesn't want to know.
Shout out to Jinka for that, man, because you're getting some good music out for us by pushing these guys.
100%.
So obviously you've mentioned you're creating a new mixtape. So what have you got any other projects out that you're working on that you're getting ready for?
So basically, we done the Project Nostalgia. A lot of that was done before I joined Lost Boys, but we had to send all the files and stuff over, mix and master it, and sort a few things out. But this tape is kind of like clean slate. It's produced by Lost Boys. It's recorded at Lost Boys Studio. It's got Lost Boys features and a few other people. But I'm actually working on a tape. This the most special thing for me, because I feel like I've been around for so long and people have heard bits and pieces over the years and like, oh, I really like that. May have sprayed a bar in a party, might have put a bar on a track that never got released. It's called Grimepedia. So basically, I think it's 22 tracks and there's no track names. It's just track years. And it starts in 2004. So 2004, I'd done a lot of research, old tapes, CDs, tapes at my dad's house when we used to just sit and spray around, notebooks. And 2004, every lyric I spit in 2004 was wrote in 2004 via the chorus. Obviously, I wasn't writing choruses back then. It's to old grime beats that people know. So there's 2004, 2005, 2006 part 1, 2006 part 2. So, and that all the way up until 2021, basically. So
mad.
That's the theme of the tune. It took a lot of time. It took almost, I fully finished it properly, I think about 2 months ago. It took a lot of time just researching and finding old paperwork, and luckily I used to write a lot of stuff on the receipts where I used to work at Moss, and it's got time. So I knew actually when the date was, and actually I could tell you the time I wrote it as well. So yeah, that is something. You're probably not going to be the best lyrically because maybe in 2004 I probably wasn't spitting some of my best material, but I still think it's good enough to make a tape and like a greatest hits or a compilation of. You can follow the journey, even though you might not have, there might not be a journey out there for you to follow from 2004, but this tape will give you the chance to be like, but that's what he was saying in 2004. That's what he was coming with. And in 2005, you could see how it elevated and switched and how it grew. So I can't wait. That's already, obviously it's already written. We're going to start the recording as soon as I finish mixing and mastering this new tape, which shouldn't be long, maybe the next month or so. So it's going to be another 22 tracks.
That's amazing. So everyone keep an eye out for that. Obviously, Kasimo's Instagram will be linked in the description. Yeah. So go give him a follow and obviously make sure you check out his updates. It's got put some funny stories up as well, man.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I feel like we've flown through so much so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is there anything like so? We have quite a few young people that listen, that are trying out. I know I've got a guy coming on he's about 17 and he's trying to make it in the music world. Is there what you'd say to these people that are trying to do what you're doing from a young age that could help them stay focused and progress?
Yeah, I'd say it's all about working on your craft and putting the work in. I used to really flow through music and make one thing one year might not pop off, and then one thing the next year, like the Stars on the Rise, and it popped, and then I'd live off that for a year, and it's just not good enough. It's no good be consistent. That's probably be consistent. That's probably the best advice I can give. Be consistent. Remember, if you're not writing 1 or 2 songs a week, there's someone else out there that's your age, that's hungry, that's doing that, and you can see with like the H. And the other guy that just had the verse on the body, I can't remember his name now.
Ardy.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, them guys are probably putting so much work before that, and they're there now, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
a lot more consistent. So it's the one thing, probably best advice I could give. Worked out for me in the end, but maybe who knows? I could have maybe been sitting here with a much bigger platform talking to you guys right now, if that makes sense, if I'd have been consistent 4 years ago or 5 years ago or 15 years ago. So who knows?
There's always a right time to start, though, isn't there? There's always that initial strike where that you've got to hit the road and get some work done.
100%. It's a shame it's just taken me till I'm almost 33 to get there, but I'm pretty sure now I'm focused. Year after year, you're gonna hear track after track, and even if the dream is to obviously one day make this the thing that pays the bills, but even if that doesn't happen, I can't see myself stopping. Because I know that people like to hear my music, whether it's a certain selection. So that's good enough for me. I enjoy doing it. It's my therapy at the end of the day. A lot of what I say is stuff that's happened or stuff that's happened to a friend, and that's why I use it to talk. I use it to kind of write my feelings and emotions down on paper, and I enjoy it.
It's right good you've said that, because that's one of the reasons why I'm wanting to get into music myself. So, because I've lived about 4 lives for a 25-year-old, and I can't share my emotions. I don't know how to share my emotions with anybody, but I thought if I give it a try, it'll either go really well and it'll help me take a weight off my shoulders, or even if it don't go well, at least I've tried it. And that's one of the things that I always say to people that obviously I talk to is try it once. If it don't work out, at least you can say give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, try everything once apart from heroin. Don't do that, kid. But
Oh, too late for that. Been there, done that. Why couldn't you tell me that all them years ago? It just saved me a lot of trouble.
Everything once, just don't try heroin, kids.
If you want to hear that episode, go back to the first one.
Yeah, go to the first one, mine, and it's my story.
I tell you what, Fraser, if you could spit, you'd have some a story to tell, mate.
I can't.
I don't know if you've ever seen that
video and talk, so I've got no chance. No chance whatsoever.
So I'll just give you a bit of context on that, Kasimo. So basically, right, we so we got a sponsorship for the next 4 videos, and we had to make a sponsorship video for it. And I sent Fraser a script, and the video he sent back was so robotic.
I tried and tried and tried, but just didn't work. It was like I couldn't even speak English.
Why didn't
It
you
was
just
like,
the dome, Fraser? Why don't you just like instead of reading the script, just kind of try flow? Because you've asked me questions, and it's you've not come across like a robot at all.
I don't know. I don't know what happens. I start recording, and this dickhead comes out of me. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's like I've never spoken before. And the phrases that I should have been saying, I was saying the wrong thing all the time. I did seriously about 70 videos.
DL.
And just
you're the speaker.
failed.
To say like that, yeah.
But to be fair, it did give us something to talk about, and we had a laugh. So
yeah.
You should make behind the scenes edit and kind of chop it up and get the funniest parts in there.
Oh, it'd be long.
Yeah.
It'd be so long.
If it was all right on a night, I'd have to have a full program.
I mean, surely, like, when you're recording these videos and that for your music, do you ever have moments like that where you're recording something and you're just looking and thinking, what am I doing?
I done a photo shoot Friday, and the girl Tanya was like, we just want to do like a little promo video for one of your songs. I was like, yeah, that's fine, we can do that. She was like, just spit over. It's simple. It's not like a video shoot where there's different angles. It's just you and a camera. And I wasn't happy. I was like, no, she was like, it's fine. I was like, no. If we're gonna do this, it's gotta be perfect. And I said, I can see at least 5 words because I didn't have it was kind of like sprung on me, so I didn't have a chance to go over it and learn it. I'm not one of these people that retains my songs. My kids know my songs better than I do. They say a lyric to me, and I'll be like, oh, that's yours, Dad. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I said that. I'm terrible. They're gonna have to keep the background in. But yeah, so I done like about 5 takes before I was happy with it, and there was a lot of mumbling and a lot of kind of looking up at the sky, like, oh God, what do I say next? So yeah, I fully understand that.
Yeah, I think we've all been there.
My Instagram videos, bloody, you'd be pissing yourself laughing.
Nah, to be fair, I think your Instagram videos are all right.
I like it.
That's because I said
like them.
Times.
I always just look back at them and think, mate, you need to get rid of this. I'm like, I need to get rid of my double chin, man. It's popping out of it.
A week, I'm fantastic. Mate, that year out in 2020 was it didn't do me any favors, let's say.
Oh yeah, we're currently having that.
That's why I'm here. I'm this level. You ain't seeing below there, just this level.
But yeah, so I mean, I think we've covered pretty much most things. I mean, obviously, as we get bigger and better, I would love to invite you back and
100%
get you back on. And I thank you for sticking with us through, well, the terrible video quality that we had. It means a lot that people like you, Keon and Jinka, and that are giving you time up to speak to us because we are brand new and we're fresh to this. And that's why I'll ask my audience, show these guys some love. Make sure you comment on the videos, tell them that you heard them on the TheChatDown podcast. When I pre-order the songs. And just show some love because you're showing us love and you're helping us grow. These guys are the reason why we're growing. The Lost Boys, Made It crew are literally the guys that have pushed us to keep going. And a massive shout out to Jinka, because if he didn't have that conversation with me that day, I don't think we'd have still been going now.
I've got to say that before we were like ticking along, and since you guys have been on our side, things have really taken off, and I'm so honoured and blessed to everything that you've done. and to Scott as well, because he does so much work on it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And Connor as well, he does so much work for us. It's just amazing.
No, man, I appreciate you having me on as well. I'm not gonna lie. My first ever podcast. I've never done anything like this before, so I didn't know what to expect. But I was just like, you know what, let's go with the flow. Just it is what it is.
It's our show, and we still don't know what to expect. Honestly, mate, it's so. Because I'm brand new to it, so I'm going to take this time just before we close it off to just say a massive, massive thank you to Connor, who's his editor.
Yep.
Without him, I could not do any of this. You know, he's told me what to buy. He's told me how to set up audio. He's told me how to do absolutely everything, as well as actually physically recording it himself from his own device. You know, I don't do any of it. He does all of it. You know, and a massive thank you to him for that. You know, if we ever make it, bro, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget what you've done. And, you know, I love you for it, mate.
And I hope in like a year's time, when my journey is hopefully doing a lot better, you guys are growing 6 months time, years time, come back on and we can catch up and see what's what and how life's been treating all of us. So
yeah, definitely. So you've heard it here. You've heard it right here, right now.
6 months to a year. Let's get some more stuff. Let's get how about this? We can do, I don't have an exact date for the tape to drop. I'm thinking August, September. I want to shoot, I've got 1 video shot, 2 video shot, I think, and I want to shoot another 4 more. I want to kind of get the package to kind of, so it's ready to go. So I'll put it out and then video, and single. So once that's in play, then let's have a little catch up and you can see what's been happening.
Definitely. We'll be more than honoured to have you on. If you haven't already liked and followed all the pages, please do. On YouTube and Facebook at TheChatDown. On Instagram, we are at TheChatDown Podcast, because some other person that doesn't use their Instagram as at TheChatDown. And follow all Kasimo's Instagram, his YouTube, his Facebook. All of it will be linked down in the description. Make sure you go down there, give him a follow, show him some love, listen to his music, put his music into your Spotify playlist. I will also link his Spotify. We've been TheChatDown, and peace.
Bless. Peace, guys.
Yeah. All that time I was locked in myself. Lost my mind, I was living in hell. I put that work in now, so I know my worth. All them times that I did my dirt. I was young when I lost my heart. Turned so cold, I don't like my past. So I use these drugs, let me light this up. Let me light this. I let the pain run through while I speak to my ghost. Everybody screaming that they really the most. I couldn't see you when I really had my back to the ropes. It's all me, everything me. I couldn't give a fuck about them, they don't see. All the pain that I carry with me. I said it so many times that I miss my niece. It's a sacrifice I made just to be in the streets. It gets deep. Smoking all this weed just to get to sleep. Scared to drink, or when I wake it's peak. All that time that I give to the streets. All that time that I give to the streets.
I ain't gonna flex like man would've known me. Rep for my set and respect for my OGs. Rep for my set and my set, they go roll deep. Get the respect when I flex with this rolling. I'm a real rider, shout to my riders. Shout to my man doing stretch to the lifers. Lift up your lighters, big up my vibers. Ain't got time for you snakes or you vipers. Real rider, got the shit locked. Might call my shit hit, but not hip hop. Might make a bitch drip when the drip drop. Bra whipped off when she clocked what the whip cost. Don't get it twisted like crisscross. I clock the game, I'm a big boss. Flip a girl, leg her down like a hip toss. Flip a pack for that big wop. I ain't gonna flex like man would've known me. Rep for my set and respect for my OGs. Rep for my set and my set, they go roll deep. Get the respect when I flex with this rolling. I'm a real rider, shout to my riders. Shout to my man doing stretch to the lifers. Lift up your lighters, big up my vibers. Ain't got time for you snakes or you vipers.